I've mined millions of Kaspa over the years, and surprisingly, that was the easy part. The hard part has been coming up with a solid plan to take some profit and minimize downside risk while still holding enough over time to maximize gains if we get the bull run we've all been hoping for. Today, I'm going to share with you my profit-taking strategy and the tools I'll be using to carry out my master plan to sell 1 million Kaspa. I've already started the process and I'll be describing that later in this video. So keep watching and you can see how it's playing out so far. Before I get into it, if you find the content helpful, do me a favor and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and consider using the affiliate links in the description of the video. Years and years of research, mining, accumulating, collaborating with others in the industry, and making mistakes along the way have taught me some valuable lessons. When things are going well, it's tough to imagine the price of your asset plummeting. I've made this mistake and I've heard many others in the industry describe the same thing happening to them. You get a taste of paper gains, everything's pumping, everyone's excited, portfolios are massively in the green. Then the inevitable happens, the price drops and you haven't sold a dime. It can happen fast in crypto, and I've personally watched seven-figure portfolios come crashing down. It's incredibly humbling and I don't want it to happen to you. There are many different crypto profit-taking strategies, and I'm going to go over a few of them briefly before I tell you about my strategy. I'll also be going over a spreadsheet that I've come up with to help me avoid those big mistakes that I was just talking about. Let's talk profit taking. Percentage-based fixed target. This strategy is where you pick a specific percentage gain and exit fully or partially when it's hit. For example, you think Kaspa will 3x from here to about 10 cents. You exit 50% of your holdings when that target is hit. This strategy is simple and removes emotion. You can set up a limit order and just walk away. The problem is there's no guarantee that limit order ever gets filled. Also, if you decide to sell 100% all at once, you miss any potential upside over a longer time frame. Fixed sell all at target. Sell your entire position once it reaches a predetermined high. Maybe you think Kaspa will hit 6 cents because of hype building around the new hard fork, or if you get wind that a new exchange listing is coming. This strategy can work if you know of a major event coming up that creates bullish momentum. I've seen this happen in the past with many crypto projects. The coin starts pumping and continues all the way through the date of the event, then it tends to sell off. After a major pump from expected launches or hard forks, a lot of the times the hype dies down after the event and the price dies down with it. This method is risky and can cause you to miss out on more potential upside if the price keeps climbing. The quote-unquote risk-free method, also known as de-risk and hodl. With this method, you sell enough to recover your initial investment, and that makes the rest of the investment house money. Maybe you bought a crypto miner that you ROI'd on, and with this method, you take the cost of the miner off the table and let the rest ride. Or say you bought $1,000 of Kaspa at a great price and now it's worth $3,000. You take the initial investment of $1,000 off the table. This allows you to hold the remainder indefinitely without worrying about losing the initial investment. It's a popular method for long-term believers who want to eliminate the downside risk. Scaling out, also known as DCAing out. This involves selling predetermined portions of your position on a regular basis. For example, you decide to sell something like 5,000 Kaspa weekly or 1,000 Kaspa every other day. This locks in gains gradually while leaving some exposure for further upside if the rally starts up and continues. Those are all great methods to help you take profit, but now I want to share with you my method. I've been tracking my sales meticulously on a custom spreadsheet that I made. This isn't a how-to on spreadsheets or anything like that, but I will show you the formulas that I punched in, and if you're pretty savvy with spreadsheets, then you should be able to replicate this without any problem at all. Before I tell you the method I'm using, you need to understand that nothing I say is ever financial advice. I am just showing you what I am planning to do. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I wanted this method to be stupid easy, something I could do consistently with minimal steps involved. I've got things set up where it's so simple I can handle this every morning while I'm sipping my coffee and my toddler's pulling at my leg asking me to play Legos. The simplicity allows me to stay consistent. This method also allows me to keep my crypto in cold storage without having to transfer anything out of my wallets into exchanges. I hate leaving my crypto on any exchange. Each morning I wake up, grab that cup of coffee, check the price of Kaspa, and I sell a certain amount of Kaspa based on what the price is doing that day. If Kaspa is 3.5 cents, I sell 3,500 Kaspa. If Kaspa is, say, 4 cents, lucky enough lately, it was 4 cents recently, then I sell 4,000 Kaspa. So this is the beauty of it. You catch some of that top. Now, if Kaspa goes down to 2.9 cents, unfortunately it did. And for a little while, 1 or 2 days in here somewhere, there it is, 29 and 29. So 2,900 Kaspa, I sold on those 2 days. With the volatility that has been happening with the Iran war and tariffs and interest rates being high and all kinds of other things that are going on in the macro environment, it has caused so much volatility that I'm glad I've been doing this. It has taken a little bit of the pressure off of me to try and figure out where a top could be or even a local top. I just sell the amount that I'm showing you on the screen every day. I stopped saying to myself, well, what if the price goes up tomorrow? I don't do that anymore. I just sell. No emotion, no what ifs. I sell. If I'm honest, there have been a few times where I decided to wait until later in the day to sell because I just didn't like the price at the moment, or I was waiting on what I thought would be like bullish news. But I almost always regret waiting. So I've learned to just sell and let it go. So I started this on February 1st. And that day, I sold 3,150 Kaspa at a price of 3.146 cents. Value at the time was $99. And the cumulative amount starts tracking on day 2. So you can see how I've got the date, the amount of Kaspa sold, the price that I sold it at, the value at the time, how many dirty fiat dollars I got by trading my Kaspa at that time. The cumulative amount is ongoing. The cumulative value of what I've sold is ongoing. And here's my average sell price. So let's fast forward, say, to the end of the month. The Iran conflict, started around like just shortly after I started doing this DCA out method. So let's see, prices 1 month later, March 1st, 3,002 Kaspa for a price of 0.03002. And the value at that time was $90. And the cumulative amount that I'd sold after 1 full month was 90,000 Kaspa. Now that sounds like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, like I said, I have millions of Kaspa and I want to de-risk and I want the best price that I can get. And I am bullish going forward, but I just don't know when things will turn around. So I want to de-risk. I've got so much Kaspa that it kind of makes me a little nervous. It's a very unbalanced portfolio. So here's my cumulative value at the end of 30 days, like 1 month, $2,861. My average sell price was 3.156 cents. Now let's go ahead and go to April 1st, April Fool's Day. 3,258 Kaspa sold for 3.258 cents for a value at the time of $106. And at that point, I had sold 194,000 Kaspa. And that amount of Kaspa over time had been sold for $6,339 at an average of 3.267 cents. The average is like the protection against volatility. So instead of me panicking and selling everything at like 2.8 cents after bombs started dropping, I have an average of 3.26 cents. Now, I might have gotten lucky in 1 day, sold when it hit 4 cents. That was when the Covenant hard forks were supposed to happen. It was supposed to happen soon, but then they delayed it. Here, I sold a little over 4 cents, and I caught some of that pump from the news of the Covenant hard fork, but then it fell off because the hard fork's been delayed. So this is protecting me from the downside volatility. It's allowing me to extend out the sell window, if you know what I mean, because I do expect things to get better. And I really do believe that things will start pumping, but I just don't know when. Everything's been so volatile. Let me show you really quick how easy it is to swap Kaspa into USDT on my Tangem wallet. Then we'll go over my spreadsheet a little bit more and show you the price as of today. This is April 21st that I'm recording this. We'll compare it to the price of Kaspa today, and we'll see how we're doing, average price of Kaspa that I've sold at versus the average price today. Here we are in my Tangem app with my physical Tangem cards, and I'm going to be selling Kaspa today. Today it's 4/22, so hopefully this is the day that I get to post this video. It's around 7 in the morning. So I've got 261,000 Kaspa in here. That is, like I said, not my entire bag of Kaspa. I will transfer more into this card to refill it so I can get to my total goal of selling 1 million Kaspa like I showed you in the spreadsheet. So now let's go ahead and click into Kaspa. Right now it's saying the market price is around 3.4 cents. Let's go ahead and hit swap, and I'm going to swap it into USDT. So let's do 3,444 Kaspa, because that was around what it's showing on different exchanges today. Now Tangem is going to give me the best rate at this time. If you guys have been in crypto for a while, you know that you'll see different prices on different websites like CoinGecko, and then you go to sell and it might be a slightly different price than what it's showing on like CoinGecko or TradingView. It just depends on where you decide to sell. Now, like I said before, one of the reasons why I love doing it in my Tangem app is because I don't have to transfer a large amount of crypto out just to sell it. There's risk there when you're moving crypto off of your cold storage onto an exchange. There's risk of punching the address wrong and losing all of it. So I like doing this within my Tangem app. The remainder of it stays in cold storage. I get a good rate on Tangem. They check different exchanges to see which one will give you the best rate at the time, and it changes all the time. So it should all average out with this DCA out method. So right now Tangem is telling me it'll give me a rate of 33881. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll hit swap down here at the bottom. Very low network fee, as you can see, of like 1 penny. So let's go ahead and hit swap. Then I'm going to scan my Tangem card, and boom, just like that, it's done. I sold 3,444 Kaspa. I received 116.68 USDT. So now I'm going to go into my tracking, and I've got the spreadsheet on my phone. So we'll close this out. Now you can see I'm in my spreadsheet on my phone. So this is how easy it is. I can do this very quickly. I'm just going to punch in the date, 4/22/2026. We sold 3,444 Kaspa, and we sold it for 0.0338 cents. So I'll hit the check mark, and then as you can see, the value at the time was $116. Then we've got the cumulative amount sold, 262,945 Kaspa, 8,604 dirty fiat dollars. Then we got the average sell price of 0.03272, and there's more trailing numbers, but you can see that it automatically adjusts my amount that I sold, the value that I sold total, the average sell price. So that's how easy it is to track this, and this keeps me honest, and it keeps me moving forward, and it keeps me consistent. Now, if you're considering doing something similar and you want a discount on a Tangem wallet, you can use my discount code GreaterGood or the link in the description of the video. The link and the discount code will always get you at least 10% off, and sometimes a whole lot more. If you've never heard of Tangem wallets and want to learn more about how to set one up, I've got several videos that I will leave in cards at the end of this video, so you can just click on those if you want to check out Tangem wallets. If you just want to try Tangem for free without the card, you can download the Tangem app for free by using my exclusive link in the description. And if you like the free version, you can always upgrade to the physical Tangem card, which I highly recommend doing. Now, I can already see the comments I'll get with people saying stuff like, "Bro, selling at low numbers like this is dumb. You could sell for so much higher when the price goes up, bro." This is the exact mentality that has gotten me into trouble in the past. I was thinking the same thing when Kaspa was at 10 cents, then 8 cents, then 5 cents, and you get the idea. I want to catch profit on the way up. I want to get a decent piece of the peak and even keep selling on the ride down. And this will make my average sell price higher than it could be if I just sell it all at once. It's nearly impossible to catch the top when selling any asset, and the smartest people who invest admit that they don't think they can catch the top. Smart money exits in profit smoothly before it's obvious to everyone else that it's time to cash out. Now, this isn't all of my Kaspa. As I said, I've mined millions of Kaspa over the years, and I started with GPUs, then built my own FPGA rig, specifically for Kaspa. I ordered a first batch Ice River KS1 that was mining over 18,000 Kaspa per day, and a first batch KS0 that was mining over 3,000 Kaspa per day. Insane. I miss those days. But even though Kaspa mining has changed, I've continued to mine Kaspa every day, nonstop since 2022. Terra hosting is a reason why I've been able to continue to accumulate so much Kaspa. I would not have been able to continue to mine at home with an electric rate of 17 cents. It's just too high of a rate to stay profitable. So if you're looking for a better rate to keep your miners profitable, then check out Terra hosting. Also check out Terra Hash's new portal and new website. It's now terraportal.app. I'll leave the link to this in the description of the video. They have a new marketplace. So Terra Hashes might redirect you now to Terra Portal. So I'll leave a fresh link in the description. Also check the description for discount codes and things like that, as those get updated very frequently. So right now, some of the things they've got for sale: Bitmain, Antminer, L9. I just bought 4 of those earlier this year. Those are crushing it. And they have all the newest and best ASICs available. When you go to Terra Hashes and Terra Hosting and you end up talking to the boys over there, let them know that Greater Good Mining sent you. Now let's get back to what we were talking about before. As I said, 1 million Kaspa isn't all of my Kaspa, but this amount represents for me a portion that I need to let go of to rebalance a very unbalanced portfolio. An unbalanced portfolio that is too heavy in one project feels great when it's working out perfectly, like in 2024, when we hit an all-time high of around 21 cents. But it feels really bad when it isn't working out, like during the October 10th crash. The volatility, it's difficult to bear when you're this heavy in one asset. Now, I want to say I still personally believe in Kaspa as a solid crypto project. It has tons of potential, and I'm excited for the Covenant hard fork that should be coming in June. Also, going forward, I feel optimistic about the markets in general. The S&P 500 and Russell 2000 have recently hit all-time highs despite all this madness going on. We've also had quantitative tightening end. We have had quantitative easing begin. We'll have a new Fed chair in May. Hopefully that will be good for the markets. Maybe he'll be a little more dovish than Jerome Powell was. Maybe we'll get lower interest rates. I'm hoping for all of those things. So even with all of these bullish catalysts coming, holding this much Kaspa has been kind of keeping me up at night. DCAing out, like I showed you in my spreadsheet, it has given me some relief, and I feel like I can think more clearly. I've been feeling like a lot of pressure from holding too much of one asset, and I feel like that can force people to make hasty decisions. It doesn't feel good, like I said, when Kaspa is hitting 2 cents when it was at a high of 20 cents and I hold so much. It makes me nervous, so that's why I'm doing this, not because I don't believe in Kaspa as a project. So slow and steady selling like this, it will also buy me some time in case macro lines up and things start to improve, but it also will protect me from further downside if things get worse, and they can. I'll be making some progress videos going forward to show you how things are panning out. So don't forget to like the video if you found the video helpful. Don't forget to use the affiliate links and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell if you want to follow my journey to sell 1 million Kaspa.
The Greater Good.